Hey SAC fam, Hook Daddy here, out in the field getting some grinding in. You know how we do. Today we're going to go through and evaluate a couple less known discs. First off I have is the Volt. This is lab second, but same, MVP Volt. We have the Zenith by MVP. And lastly we have the Trace. The reason why I selected these three discs are because they all are pretty similar. Some have a little bit more speed to them. I think the Volt is an 8 speed and the other two are 11s. But they pretty much have the same carry of a 5. And they all are pretty close to being fairly straight with a nice little fade at the end. So I wanted to test them out. So we'll see what goes. Alright, the first one we're going to throw is the Trace. Alright, let's see how it goes. This one is 11.5, negative 0.5, 2 or something to that extent. So we'll see how it flies. Let's go throw it flat. At least attempt to. We'll see how it goes. Oh yeah, there it goes. Wow. That was almost like an 03. Alright, the next one is the Volt. This one I think is an 8.5, negative 1, or negative 0.5, 2 or something to that extent. So we'll give it a throw. Flat. Oh, little air bump too. Jeez Louise. Didn't carry as much as the Trace. The last one is the Zenith. This one's 11.5, negative 1, 2 or something to that extent. They're all pretty similar. We'll see how this one flies. This is flat. Alright. I see the two. Out of all of them, that one was pretty much the most of a 2 fade. But the other ones, the first one, the Trace, was, I felt like more of like a 3, you know, as far as the fade goes. And then the Volt, that was probably a solid 2 as well. So let's see how it goes on forehand. All right, let's try the forehand. First, we'll start with the good old Trace. See how it goes. Alright, a little nose up on that one. Next we're going to go with the Volt. See how that goes. I'm just throwing these as flat as I can for the most part. It's a little windy out here, but not too bad. I just got taken up. And last, Zenith. They all seem to react pretty much the same as far as on the forehand. They wanted to get a little bit up and then start to fade. They didn't really have a ton of turn on them, which I didn't really expect because they're pretty close to being super straight as far as turn goes. But they just really wanted to get into that fade mode on forehand. I may have thrown them a little bit nose up. It's a little windy out here. But overall, they all pretty much reacted the way that I expected. Pretty straight, a lot of fade at the end, and pretty consistent. The Zenith and the Trace, both the 11 speeds, I didn't get a ton more out of them, maybe 10, 15 feet, if that. The Volt was pretty consistent. It's pretty close to it. It's 8 speed. So all in all, if you haven't gotten these discs, give them a try. You promote the other ones heavily, like the Hexes, which is pretty straight. I mean, it's a negative 1.1, so it's not an 02 by any stretch, but they promote all the big ones. But you gotta get out there and try some of these other ones, from Streamline and so on and so forth. They're all MVP, all worth a try. Another one for the SAC fans. Hopefully you got something out of this video. Until next time, take care.